Cat. Hi, Cat. Give me just a quick second, please. I'm gonna put my shoes on. We're gonna have our Mr. Rogers moment.
The
Speaking of
secret
which,
to our deodorant is sand.
I got the ultimate compliment for me um, from our friend Adam on a left a comment on one of my videos. I don't know which one. I don't remember which one. Um, saying that you guys, we've created a little bit of a Mr. Rogers neighborhood on our um, community. Really wonderful thing to say. Now, you've heard me quote before Fred Rogers going on David Letterman, which upset a lot of people because they were afraid Letterman, who, especially at this time, was, hey, Lee, um, he had a very biting wit. He was very sarcastic. And somebody could be a little mean spirited. And here the gentle Mr. Rogers comes strolling in, and everyone thought that he was going to, hey, Jace, everyone thought that he was going to be picked on. But David Letterman was in awe and treated him with so much kindness and respect. That's the essence of ahimsa, which is the very first practice of yoga, non harming. These are called restraints, the yogic restraints. You restrain one aspect so the opposite grows. So you restrain from harming so that peacefulness itself. Jay says, Turkey. So that peacefulness itself isn't just invoked, becomes a living presence, and it extends from the practitioner. Many, many benefits to practicing ahimsa. And it all depends on how deep you can take it. I try to invoke it in every aspect of my life, from diet to my thoughts towards myself and others. Of course, Miracle says there are no private thoughts. It's a little scary, right? There are no private thoughts. How can there not be private thoughts? Well, because your thoughts have literally shaped the world in which we're living. If you see a world of fear, if you see a world of persecution, if you see a world that allow some to starve and some to feast, then your thoughts are being projected outwards, and we see it, the world that we live in. Hi, Anna. Um, anyway, you've heard me talk about this story with Fred Rogers when David Letterman said, so, what do you tell kids when something bad happens? Bad news, overflowing. And he thought about it, considered it, and said, I simply tell them, sometimes bad things happen in the neighborhood. Um, so, yeah, our friend Adam invoked that. But, sometimes there are disturbances in our community, there are disturbances in our neighborhood. We can pull forces and turn against one person, two people, three people, but we're not practicing ahimsa if we do so. We're not practicing gentleness if we do so. We're not invoking the presence of peace if we do so. Choice is always ours, and the choice is always love. In truth, it isn't really a truth. In truth, it isn't really a choice because you can only seem to choose an illusion. If it's an illusion, how can you really choose it? It doesn't exist. All we can do is live in our belief system until, for whatever reason, maybe it just gets too painful for us. This is what happened with me. It became too painful, and I was offered the opportunity to step into the reality of peace. Now, of course, we're in and out. I don't reside in a peaceful neighborhood all the time, but I always know I can step back there. I always know that forgiveness is my tool. So I wrote about this a little bit this morning. I wrote about politics. I don't like talking politics on my live streams because politics as we see them are divisional, and we get enough of that. At the same time, uh, politics and voting does affect the illusion that we live in. How we vote can either feed children or starve children, can either unite us or divide us. How we vote can either be welcoming or it can exclude. Sad to say, it shouldn't have to. Hi, Stitch. Hey, Goga. Goga says, Eric looking nice and green. Well, thank you. I appreciate hearing that. So here's the only one thing that I will say about politics. I just did a video of me reading what I wrote. I'm going to go ahead and read what I wrote. Of course, politics are on my mind right now. It would be difficult to completely escape its insidious reach even as I attempt to retreat from such things. The truth is, there really is no retreat from an illusory world and its lingering effects. There's only vision, and this involves simply seeing reality beneath turmoil, continuously invoking the presence of love in any political situation or discussion. What I have is the tool of forgiveness and my wish for healing. Truly, it's impossible for love to ever retreat. So I face the world once more, extending only love. So, any political discussion that might surface is instantly forgiven. We invoke reality, choosing love, and move on. It's my one and only political statement that I'm ever going to make. I choose love. And I invite people to join with me. Choose love. Let's choose love together and see what we can create. And that means not making anyone wrong. Hey, Alpha Turkey. That's the important thing, not making anyone wrong. Because then we've created an opposition. How dare you think I'm wrong? If only love is real, and if nothing unreal exists, and if nothing real can be threatened, then we don't need to make anyone wrong. It's not a matter of right or wrong. We simply continuously choose to see through the illusion. We continuously invoke the presence of love. Every situation. So, how's everyone today? And it says, I did the workout you did with Dan yesterday this morning. Uh, did less push-ups. Wow. Well done, Anna. Of course, everyone is going to do less push-ups than Jason Dan. Stitch, how you doing? Duncan was in last night asking about you. Hey, one more day. Did you know, here's the plan on Monday? He said if you wanted to, if you make it all the way to Monday, you treat yourself with one, I think he said medium bowl of ice cream. North says, well said, Yogi. Thank you, Lee. Thank you so much. So today is Sunday. Sunday is the Goga sermon. Guys, if you want to be inspired, if you want to get some truly inspirational tips on how to grow your channel, be a better content creator, be a better person, be inspired how you live in the world, Goga is the place to be on a Sunday afternoon. Jay says, Goga, if ABC is linked to 123, then surely Mushy is linked to P. It really is the green color for a great color for a t-shirt. Good morning, brother. That's right. I said brother. How are you, Commander Turkey? Alpha Turkey. Yoga says Eric kicked Jace out. Oh yeah, it's Father's Day. I forgot about that. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that will be. Skid says he's just a yogi. I'm singing it in my head. The Overman Burp is in his basement. Lee says Happy Father's Day to all. Anna says thank you for your great live stream, Cat. Cats is the place to be. Carl says, what's up, all? What's up, Carl? Hey, Carl, who won the volleyball game? What was the final score? In favor of... Skits says, good morning, Cat. Good morning, Skits. Did I miss Sniper? This is the thing about the snipers. You never know when they're going to sneak in. There he is. Grand Rising Zarek for and all fathers and everyone left. Thank you, Sniper. Sniper, I saw your presence over at Joshua's and the wonderful little drop of love that you offered. Sniper. Sniper's a love ninja. He's a love sniper. He's picking his target with care, and then bam. Shot full of love. Who sang that song? Shot full of love? It's not a very good song. Jay says, Paul said yes. What time, Paul? Was there a poll? I don't remember anything. That was yesterday. And it was rigged. How does close to 8:30 sound? How does 8:25? Gives me time to take my walk, drink a cup of green tea, talk myself out of this, or talk myself into this, whatever the case may be. Hey, Signature, my friend. Let's see. Skits is saying hi to everyone. Our good friend Signature's here, says Happy Father's Day. Guys, go hang out with Signature. Any live stream you see and support his videos, support Signature. He's an awesome person. Very welcoming person. Sepper says, I find it difficult sometimes, Eric, when I see a narrative play out like a script. You know what? We could actually, Sniper, say that it is a script. It's the ego script. I forget who it was who wrote about a different way of protesting. What if people just showed up and offered presents? They didn't march, they didn't wave signs. They showed up and they remained silent. Just offering love. No one has ever protested their way to change. Ever. Someone might argue that, you know, the civil rights protests, the Vietnam War protest. It might have shifted a conflict, but it's never stopped war. We're still fighting wars. It might have shifted some political venues against discrimination. It didn't end discrimination. Look at it resurfing nowadays. This is why Course Miracle says, do not seek to change the world, seek to change how you see the world. Otherwise, the same stuff just happens in different scenarios, as Sniper said, in different narratives. This is why Sniper also said, remember, you got to return to the kingdom. You have to return to the kingdom. Otherwise, the world just, you know, again, the scene changes, but the reality stays the same. However, the reality that we think is reality. Hey, Sean. Sean, I enjoyed the dancing. Sean says, hey, my sister's pregnant and she had a baby shower yesterday. Congratulations to your sister, Sean. Goga says, congratulations, Hershon. Thank you, Goga. Goga says, I'm fourth in line to the throne. Number 4. You can do it, Goga. Take him down. Jay says, I'm with Reaper in 2 hours, so an hour after that, maybe. What time would that be? That would be an hour after that, so we're talking 8:30, 9:30. Not sure I can make that, Jace. I have a scheduled phone call, and I'm going to say something weird, and you guys are going to like, how weird is this guy? 9:30 is when I start cooking dinner. Believe it or not. I get all my eating out of the way, and then I'm free for the day, pretty much. I want to eat my biggest meal fairly early. Don't ask. It's actually based on sound Ayurvedic principles. You want to spend as little time digesting as you go in later to the day. It works. Don't look at me like I'm weird. I know I'm weird. I don't need you to remind me. Goga says, take them down. There can be only one number 1, and it's Goga. I'm going to invoke the Karate Kid. Sweep the leg, Goga. Sweep the leg. Carl says, Sniper is feeling generous today. Sniper says, my second comment, and I'm number 1. Sniper claims the throne. Skid says, Eric, he wrote A Course in Miracles, bro. I'm interested to know more about the author. Well, if you are to believe A Course in Miracles, it was written by Jesus. It is Jesus who wishes to talk about the misunderstanding of the direction of, we could say, Christianity. Hey, Sarah. But it's not a Christian text. It actually has more in common with Buddhism and Vedanta. It was scribed by Helen Suchman and helped come into fruition with William Thetford. She heard a voice. Well, let's backtrack. They were both professors of psychology at Columbia University, late 50s through the 1960s. William Thetford was head of the psychology department at Columbia University. He hired Helen Suchman to head a project. They were both very successful at their jobs, but there was a lot of contentious behavior between the entire faculty, and they were all frustrated. And in a just fit of frustration, William Thetford says there has to be a better way. And very uncharacteristically, Helen Suchman says there is, and I'll help you find it. And that triggered some mystical experiences of Helen Suchman, who was prone to them throughout her entire life. She heard a voice, and the voice said, "This is A Course in Miracles. Please take note." And being a psychologist, very prestigious psychologist, she went to head of the department, William Thetford, and said, "I'm hearing a voice. I don't know what to do." And he said, "What does the voice say?" And she says, "It says, please take note." So William Thetford said, "Well, take notes, see what it says." And she did. And over the course 1965 to 1971-ish, A Course in Miracles came to be. 700 and some page text, 365 lessons, and a manual for teachers. Hey, Muhammad, my friend. Muhammad, our friend. And it's unmistakably the voice of Jesus. Whether you choose to believe that doesn't matter. Whether you choose to invoke it as a Christian teacher, Buddhist teaching, uh, yogic Vedantic teaching, doesn't matter. The sense of peace that you get when you practice it um, is undeniable. But it is something you have to practice. I was reading the epilogue of um, the workbook yesterday, and it basically talks about, get through the lessons and then live it, practice it. You can put the book aside if you want. I find it helpful, of course, to review. The important thing is you are given tools to navigate life with gentleness, ease, respect, defenselessness, because what is true doesn't need to be defended. I'm going to repeat that. What is true. Hey, Susanna, thanks for dropping the link. What is true doesn't need to be defended. Does reality itself need to be defended? It simply accepts. It simply is. What is, Sniper used this word yesterday, beingness. Does being need to be defended? You're simply being. Now, things that are Christian to you, fit health. Um, Muhammad says, how are you, my friend Yogi? I hope you're fine. I am fine, Muhammad. Thank you. I hope you are as well. I hope you and your mom. I know these are difficult times. Um, Carl says, Sean, we really want to see the dance. There's a video of it. You can go to his page and check out his short. Zip says, Goga, I overcame that when I was very young. I was brought up with a silver spoon, and I had a realization that it happened to me. I had no choice in the matter. When I was old enough, I ran away at 16. Muhammad, I always appreciate it when I get to see you in the morning. It's a great start to my day. Um, I hope that helped a little bit, Skits. The course can be summed up very simply at the beginning, and it's such an awesomely Vedic way of saying it. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Therein lies the peace of God. When you are aligned with God, there's only love. Forgiveness is a tool to realigning ourselves with God. When we see that, we realize that only being in alignment with God is true, is reality, is love. Anything else is an illusion. An illusion can never threaten reality. So when we are in situations that make us feel threatened, when we're in situations that threaten our worldview, when we're in situations that threaten our opinion, we instantly can realize it's not true. It's not real. My opinion isn't real. It's an opinion. It's not reality. Just because I believe it, and just because I shout it, and just because I insist upon it, demanding, going through my life, demanding, it's all from the ego. And I don't have to fight that. I just need to realize it's not real because it feels threatened. And if it's threatened, it's not real. Only love is real. Only the presence of love. Kat says, I can hear the fox screaming. Jack is barking. Hopefully he will let them know to stay away. Hey, Kat, as soon as I end the live stream, I'm going to remind the fox that we have a deal. We made a bargain. They got what they got. No more. Find someplace else. Jay says, Eric, does time have relation to the written text of a book? If something can be proven to be not factual, does that mean that written text was incorrect until that time, or always incorrect? It's an interesting question. I don't know. I actually don't know. In relation to A Course in Miracles, um, it has actually nothing to do with factual or not factual. It has to do with, if I practice this, how do I feel? Um, if I practice forgiveness, how do I feel? Am I at peace? So yeah, I never invoke facts over reality, facts over actuality. It's all based on uh, how I feel. The Course in Miracles is a tool. Buddhism is a tool. Buddha said his teachings were like a raft. Use the raft to cross the ocean. Use the raft to cross the stream. Use the raft to cross the lake. But when you're done, you don't need to carry the raft with you any longer. So for me, sometimes I need to go back and get that raft. You know, sometimes I come across a large body of water and I think, all right, I find myself here again, but I have the ability, I have the tools to navigate. But yeah, that's the thing. You know, even A Course in Miracles at the very end says, throw the book away. It's just words. Of course, says words about symbols twice removed. The Tao begins with the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. The teaching, the actuality, the experience is what matters. What matters is how you live your life. Can I continuously choose forgiveness, which brings me back to peace? Even forgiveness is just a tool. It doesn't really exist. Ramana Maharshi likened it to having a thorn stuck in your palm. You take another thorn and you take it out, but you don't need to keep the thorns. You throw them both away. This is just life happening. What do you want to do with it? I'd like to be at peace with it. I'd like to invoke the life is but a dream, merrily, merrily, merrily. Anna says, my only goal is to be at peace. Amen. Amen. That's the thing. When our only goal is to be at peace, that means we continuously choose peace. If we're experiencing something that makes us feel like we are not at peace, what do? Do you fight it? Fighting never creates peace, ever. Fighting can create a temporary truth, seemingly, but it always brings up again. There's always one side that's resentful and they're just biding their time. That's the same as it is with the ego. You can meditate forever, but unless you see through the ego just bides its time and then steps up and claims a superior spirituality. My spirituality is more advanced, more peace invoking. My spirituality puts me ahead of everyone else. Look at me. Look how peaceful I am. Which is just the ego saying, look at me. Hey, Andrew. Andrew says, hey, Yogi, it's me, Andrew. How are you, my friend? Peace in every step. Absolutely. Thank you, Goga. Skid says, good morning, Muhammad, my brother. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you? Skid says, it helped a lot, brother. Thank you. I'm going to read and find out more about the people who wrote it, but the information was perfect. Here's the thing, Skits. Don't get caught up in thinking about the people who wrote it, because they themselves claim no authorship. You won't find, I don't have my copy with me, it's in the other room. You won't find Helen Sutchman's name on the book. Maybe in later publications, she wanted nothing to do with it. She even had sort of a love-hate relationship with it. She's like, I hate the course, but I know it's true. Um, yeah, they're just messengers. Don't give them even a thought. Because then you might confuse the personality with the message. The message is what Anna said. The message is choosing peace, is having that as your one and only goal. Peace of mind. Your one and only goal. It's a course of awakening. It's a course in enlightenment. Gives you 365 lessons. And then you just live. Carl said, hey, Carl, I didn't see your reply. Who won the volleyball game? So I got to head out, guys. I'm going to take my walk. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's 5:32. The sun's going to be up in about 6 minutes or thereabouts. And I got a few things to do. Jace, send me a message. Yeah, I don't think I can make 9:30. Skid says, glad you're well, Muhammad. Send your mother lots of love for me. I hope you both have a super awesome weekend, my friend. Environment says, enjoy. Thank you so much. Anna says, thank you, Jace. Jace says, peas. Well said, Anna. Sean says, you guys see my short on my CJ? The last short I saw you was dancing. Bill Haley in the comments. Rock around the clock. And well done. Awesome moves. Hey, Sissy. And it says positive energy always. Sissy says, Grandest Risings, beloveds. Grandest Risings to you. Simply says, peas on Jay says mine. Forget what I was going to say. Nah, doesn't matter. Jace, I'll send you the link to, not Jace, Skits. I will send you a link to online version of A Course in Miracles absolutely for free. He says, have a great day, y'all. You too. All right. Guys, I love you. I will see everyone later. If you need to talk about anything, reach out. I'll be here. Skits says, thanks, Yokester. Happy Sunday, y'all. Happy Sunday to you, Skits. All right. Jay says, be beautiful, everyone. I'm going to do my best. Got the Omni love. And to you as well, Sissy. All right. I will see everyone later. Thank you.